In the heart of a seemingly endless forest, hidden beyond the reach of daylight, stood a cabin that harbored a secret as old as time. It was an ordinary Friday when my curiosity turned into a tale of survival. Exhausted from a week of relentless work, I decided to escape the city's clamor for a weekend in the wilderness. My destination was a remote cabin, recommended by a friend for its solitude and untouched nature. Little did I know, this trip would unfold into an eerie saga of disappearance and survival. The drive was long, and the woods grew denser with every passing mile, swallowing the last rays of sunlight. By the time I reached the cabin, dusk had painted everything in shades of gray and deep blue. This cabin, unlike any other, was rumored to be a place where things, and sometimes people, vanished without a trace, swallowed by the woods, some whispered. Skeptical yet intrigued, I shrugged off these tales as local lore meant to scare off the faint-hearted. The first night passed in peace, with only the forest's whispers for company. But as dawn broke, I decided to explore the woods, armed with nothing but a map and insatiable curiosity. Hours into the trek, an unnatural fog descended, thick and disorienting, erasing paths and landmarks in a suffocating embrace. Panic set in as I realized I was lost, with no way back to the cabin. Wandering aimlessly, I stumbled upon a clearing where the fog seemed to retreat, revealing a dilapidated structure that resembled a workshop, its purpose long forgotten. The air was thick with an unsettling silence, broken only by the creaking of the old wooden door as it swung open at my touch. Inside, the remnants of unfinished projects littered the floor, each piece a silent testament to the craftsman's sudden departure. A sense of dread washed over me as I realized this workshop was the heart of the forest's mystery, the place where the lost were found, but not as they once were. Nightfall approached, and with no way to orient myself, I reluctantly decided to shelter in the Eerie workshop. That decision marked the beginning of a harrowing ordeal. As darkness enveloped the forest, the workshop came alive with the sound of phantom craftsmen, their tools echoing a symphony of despair. The air grew colder, and shadows danced along the walls, forming shapes that seemed almost human. Fearing for my life, I barricaded the door with whatever I could find, praying for dawn. But sleep eluded me, as whispers filled the room, recounting tales of those who had vanished, only to be transformed into the objects surrounding me. Morning came, but the forest refused to release me. Days turned into weeks, with each attempt to escape leading me back to the workshop's ominous threshold. The forest, alive and sentient, toyed with me, a new piece in its ancient game. But survival instinct is a powerful force. I began to study the patterns of the forest, the whispers of the wind, and the secrets held within the workshop's walls. I realized that to escape, I needed to understand the essence of this place, to become part of its lore. Using the tools and materials in the workshop, I crafted a compass, not of magnet and metal, but of bone and wood, imbued with the essence of the forest. This enchanted guide, born of desperation and insight, led me through the fog, past the unseen barriers that had entrapped me. After what felt like an eternity, I emerged at the edge of the woods, the cabin in sight, as if no time had passed outside the forest's grasp. The world remained unaware of the odyssey I had endured. I left the forest behind, but the experience has forever altered me. Like those before me, I became part of the forest's enigmatic history, a survivor of its inscrutable will. Now, when I hear tales of the unexplained, of places where reality seems to fold upon itself, I listen with a knowing ear. For I have seen what lies beyond the veil of the ordinary, in a workshop hidden deep within a forest where the lost are found, and sometimes, against all odds, make their way back. Emerging from the embrace of the forest, the world outside seemed unnaturally bright and eerily silent, as if in respect to the ordeal I had just endured. The cabin, once a symbol of my adventurous spirit, now stood as a reminder of how thin the veil is between the known and the unknown. In the days that followed, my return to civilization was met with a mixture of relief and disbelief. My story, shared in hushed tones, was met with skepticism by many. Yet there were those who listened with a glint of understanding in their eyes, others who had brushed against the mysteries of the world and survived to tell the tale. The experience in the forest and the workshop did more than just challenge my perception of reality. It awakened a thirst for understanding the unexplained phenomena that lie hidden in the shadows of our world. Determined to seek out these mysteries, I began to research other locations known for their inexplicable occurrences, each story adding another piece to the puzzle of the supernatural that envelops our existence. As I delved deeper into the lore of lost places, I found a community of like-minded individuals, survivors of their own encounters with the unknown. We shared our experiences, each narrative a thread in the tapestry of the unexplained that we were collectively weaving. Our discussions revealed patterns, suggesting that these anomalies were not isolated incidents, but part of a larger, more intricate network of supernatural occurrences that spanned the globe. Empowered by this newfound knowledge and community, I decided to venture back into the unknown. But this time, I was not alone. Armed with the lessons learned from my first encounter, we set out to explore these hidden realms, to document and understand the forces at play. Our journeys took us to places where the fabric of reality seemed to warp, abandoned towns swallowed by forests, deserts where the sands whispered secrets of ancient civilizations, and mountains where the snow hid the footprints of unseen creatures. Each expedition peeled back a layer of the world's mysteries, revealing the depth of its enigmas. Yet, with each discovery, we found more questions than answers. The nature of these phenomena remained elusive, as if understanding was always just beyond our grasp. But it was the search, the quest for knowledge, that drove us forward. In time, our explorations led us back to the heart of the forest that had first tested my resolve. Standing before the workshop once more, I felt a sense of completion, as if my journey had come full circle. The workshop, now silent, stood as a monument to the journey of discovery I had embarked upon. I realized then that my experience in the forest was not just an ordeal to be survived, but a gift. It had opened my eyes to the wonders and mysteries that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding, inviting us to explore and question the nature of our reality. As I left the forest behind once again, I knew that my search for the unknown was far from over. The world was full of hidden wonders, waiting for those brave enough to seek them out. And I, along with my companions, would continue to walk the path less traveled, forever in pursuit of the secrets that the universe whispers to those who dare to listen. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the forest that had once been my prison and then my teacher, I stood at the edge of the clearing for one last moment. The workshop, with its secrets and spectral craftsmanship, lay silent behind me, a sentinel guarding the threshold between the known and the unknowable. It was time to leave, to return to a world that moved in rhythms and patterns far removed from the mysteries I had encountered. I took a deep breath, the cool air filling my lungs, carrying the earthy scent of the forest, a final reminder of the journey I had undertaken. With each step away from the workshop, the weight of my experiences seemed to lighten, not diminishing in significance, but settling into a part of my being, a reservoir of strength and understanding to be drawn upon in times of need. The community of seekers I had found, those kindred spirits drawn together by our shared encounters with the enigmatic, remained a source of comfort and inspiration. Together, we had explored the fringes of the world's mysteries, each expedition a testament to human curiosity and resilience. But now, it was time for a different kind of journey, a return to the everyday, where the extraordinary encounters of our expeditions would inform the way we saw the world and interacted with those around us. As I emerged from the forest, the cabin came into view, its windows reflecting the last light of day. It stood not as a marker of my departure from the ordinary world, but as a gateway back to it, a bridge between the wonders I had witnessed and the life I was returning to. The adventures and the dangers, the friendships forged in the face of the unknown, all had transformed me, not into someone new, but into a fuller version of myself, more aware of the depth and breadth of existence. With a final glance back at the forest, I felt a sense of peace. The mysteries of the world would continue to exist just beyond the edge of human understanding, but my own journey had reached its conclusion. The stories I would tell, the memories I would cherish, were now a part of the tapestry of human experience, threads in the larger story of our interaction with the unknown. I stepped into the cabin, closing the door gently behind me. The journey was over, but the insights and revelations it had brought would resonate throughout my life, influencing my choices, my relationships, and my understanding of the world. The quest for knowledge, the drive to explore the unexplained, had not ended. Rather, it had been integrated into the fabric of who I had become. In the quiet of the cabin, I realized that the true journey is not just about seeking out the mysteries of the world, but about allowing those mysteries to reveal the depths of our own hearts and minds. As I settled into the familiar, the adventure behind me, and the unknown ahead, I knew that the greatest discoveries lie not in the far reaches of the world, but within ourselves, waiting to be uncovered. And with that realization, I found myself not at an end, but at a beginning, the start of a new chapter in a life forever changed by a journey into the unknown, ready to face the world with eyes wide open, where every end is just another beginning. Thank you for listening to the Creepy Vibes.